like reality of how did you not lose when you absolutely lost? Because
so it was nice to get that victory.
Yeah.
Just in the sense of hey, what I've been doing, it works.
Yeah.
And as we see here, like, you know, he wanted to get to mount. Felt confident enough to go to mount, right? And my favorite jiu-jitsu move is the trap. So I was so excited that he decided to go to mount, because I was 100% confident that I was going to trap and roll him right here. I'm just kind of like, okay, go step over so I can trap it.
That's the thing, man. I would have probably said, let him mount you as fast. If I knew that this was his style, let him mount you as fast as possible. You're going to do this, he's probably going to resist real hard and get back on top. The second time that you do it, he's going to have wide, like airplane hands. And then we do that secret variation that none of these people listening know about, that we were looking at the other day.
Yeah.
So you would have got out, because he would have been way out there, hands out. But the technique would have worked even better. Should have trapped that arm right there. His straight arm, the bottom arm, knee drive over that arm with your right knee. But you're thinking, I think, a little bit about knee on belly, which might give him the opportunity to hip out, roll to his knees, and start building the house. Or are you going to mount him?
I wanted to mount, but the way he turns, like it.
Should go to the other.
Exactly. I should have dropped the knee on the other side, like boom, and then spun into mount.
Yep.
Or modified mount.
Switch your knee on belly altogether, but definitely don't mount yet, because you are gonna get elbow escaped. What was going
on? Being stuck in the mount with someone that knows how to use mount controls, the Gracie Jiu Jitsu mount controls.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna be stuck there for some time, depending on how excellent. Like it took him a minute to get up. In that video with Jerry, when I passed Jerry's guard, just with timing, I got to the side, and then I used side mount controls for like maybe 3 seconds effectively before he blew through it. But that's 3 seconds more than probably 99% of the people in the world would hold him there.
Yeah. So bam, that's that sit out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And almost knocks me over.
Yeah.
But not quite.
Yeah, you could have wizard that arm, the inside arm right there. There's some definite opportunities, and he's back on his knees like this, which is not great.
The whole time I'm thinking I want to spin around and bulldog choke.
Yeah.
And pop my hips out and just like pop his head off.
And it's interesting that he goes to his side there. Or did you push him down?
No, he kind of rolled. I was like, what is he gonna give me here? And then I applied that bulldog choke and just squeezing like with everything I got, because I know there's not much time. I want to get a sub. And then he just kind of rolls, and I'm like fully committed to squeezing his head.
Yeah.
So that's it. Time's up.
You probably could have released the bulldog choke as he was like full blast trying to roll, and then mounted. And then he would have probably tried to go crazy to get you off, and possibly exposed an arm or his neck
Yeah, I
But
think this guy would have been hard to choke, get to a position where I could choke him, but arms for sure, you know.
yeah, yeah, the
Although
success,
in the next match, he's very, worried about leaving his arms out there.
big time. The second match is a different um, approach for him, but still the same approach for you because
Yeah.
you're not gonna change it up too much. It works. It's just that when somebody is very intent on holding you down and that's it, then they might hold you down for a while. Nobody ever said that, that we can just get up. Period.
Oh, but I wanted to say like that, being like down and like pretty much everybody like because there was some Houston guys or guys in like a suburb of Houston. I think it's called New Caney.
Yeah. Pull it
They
back. Hey, Roger, finish
Yeah,
what you're saying. Just pull it back like 10 seconds and then pause it and finish if you don't mind what you're saying. Because
yeah,
I want to say
yeah.
something.
I was just gonna say they I met them. I met like a purple belt coach up there, and these guys were super friendly. I got the 10 Planet gear because I've been training at 10 Planet San Antonio. And the first match, I'm down, and then I had the comeback victory in the end. So everybody got excited, Sophia included, and so they're coaching this next match.
That's so it's the 10th planet guys that I can hear back there.
Yeah, yeah. He was like, wrestle up,
Yeah.
or hard. That's cool too. Yeah, that's that was a really funny guy from New Jersey. We went and ate barbecue. They invited us to go eat barbecue with them afterwards, and they were super super nice people. And he's kind of like this funny wrestler dude from New Jersey. And yeah, I just had an absolute blast hanging out with these guys.
Nice. What belt is he?
Man, good question. Like, I want to say he'd been training for a while.
He's not.
I honestly, I think the head coach there at the time was a brown belt, and the one of the coaches that I met was a purple belt, but I believe he recently got his brown belt maybe 6 months ago or something like that.
Nice.
Um, I just don't know who was out there or where they got their belts from. Like it's like they're out in Houston, and then the nearest gym is like going to be, I guess, going to be like San Antonio or Dallas. So I'm not sure where all these guys are from. They're from different like parts. Well, at least some of them. I'm not sure about. I'm not sure about all their lineages. I got to hang out with them like for an afternoon, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to
really
tell because
good competitors.
people people cross train so much that it's like they're a little bit of everything, no matter what. But anyway, um, what I was gonna say here at the beginning, there's a whole lot of hand fighting, unnecessary hand fighting,
Okay.
and the guy is he changes levels. He's low right here. His head is low. Now watch what happens. His head goes up there, and now it comes back down low. Now he's gonna want this little inside foot sweep that I taught Blake on the channel there, but it was not even. He's way too far.
Mm.
But this is what the hand fighting led to is some opportunity and unnecessary uh, struggle.
I'm thinking about that low single like crazy. I'm kind of watching his feet without watching his feet. They're in like my peripherals because I want to change levels and shoot in.
Yeah,
Because I was trying to hip toss him in the first match, but I was like, man, it's hard to get where I want to go. And I hadn't, I guess I didn't realize that you could hip toss with an overhook.
yep. Plus, you there was one little spot there where you were set up for a hip toss. He kind of felt it and modified his body, but he modified it to a spot where you could have just kicked his foot right out from under him. He would have fell. Who knows? He would have sprung back up, but
I
it
really
would
want to concentrate on those.
do what?
I really want to concentrate on those stand ups and those setups. I feel like, oh man, I feel like that's just like this missing piece, you know. And if I really had that solid, oh man, that would just be. I mean, I think that's the piece.
Yep. Those takedowns and those throws are the magic bullet, man. There's a whole lot more hand fighting happening here. Unnecessary struggle. Well, you're preventing him with a knee shield on this side. He could push it down and still try to go that way, but it looks like that the hand fight, the top hand at least, is maybe preventing that. What was your thought by doing this hand fights?
See, I can't remember what I wanted at this point.
Scissor sweep.
I think it must have been sweep.
Yeah. I mean, you're not perfectly set up, but you still could have like hugged his hip and tried your scissor sweep. Ideally, you would want your right leg out. He's going to end up really wanting to neck hug you here. You see, it's kind of like he's getting you caught up in his pattern.
I think I go 2-on-1 at one point.
I would have probably hugged his neck as hard as I could and pulled it down, like leverage, not pulling down with arm strength, but leverage, pull his head down tightly as possible, which surely would either force him to try to make space or to use his legs to move. But if you were hugging that tightly, I feel like that he would try to bust out, push out, and then you would be able to get back to full guard. Like that might be what you're thinking there.
Well, they are coaching me to do that sweep that you're talking about, that bump up.
Uh huh.
But I mean, he can hear it too, you know. So he's kind of, and it works one time, and I mean, it off balances him.
You
And
know
I
what
think.
else?
Go
You're
ahead.
in the setup right here for the guard get up. Like the setup for the technique. I think it's possible he would probably chase you down, but who knows? You might start to come out the back door, push his head down, and then just cut around to the side. You know, it's the same technique that I used in that video with Joe. And here goes the he's very aware to the right, zero awareness to the left, our left.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Like you hug that bottom knee, and that knee wouldn't have came out right there. You still got to the guard, but I think you would have
Yeah.
wound up on top for sure. Thinking about an arm lock there for a second.
Yeah. But specifically, I'm thinking of the arm lock, and if it fails, that there's a heel hook entry.
Yep, because you're already there.
Yeah, if they pull their arm out, your knee is kind of belly down, and your knee is on one side, and then your your other leg is on the other side, and you still have a hold of that leg. So if they turn away, the heel is exposed. And I've been having fun with that, but just wasn't refined. Like I could that was something I could hit on white belts, but not any of the savvy leg lockers. But I don't know that this guy is a savvy leg locker himself, so maybe I could have hit it.
No, I think he's a sport jujitsu, really good, and but problems with the basics, big problems with it. But he's still savvy sport jujitsu, probably a champion, holding people down. That
Man,
wins these fights. Period.
I can tell I'm having fun here, man. I'm doing that little roll. Like I'm just having a blast. I'm like, hey, I've already got a gold. Um,
And you don't feel like you're going to be tapped out. I know it for a fact.
oh yeah, the pressure's off. Like I already felt like his best. So I'm like, I'm in no danger of like even if he wins on points, like it's no big deal. I got one, he got one, doesn't matter. Like, but I'm not getting tapped. And I want an arm lock. I want something.
It's definitely possible. I don't see any defensive gaps with you. And it's not, I would be fair. I'm being fair because I'm calling out your problems and his too. But that was almost a little bump. That was almost a you got where you wanted. But this is not going to happen. Never will he throw your legs out of the way.
I want to do that little trip, you know?
Yeah. Oh
And they're
man,
telling me
you're
to sit up.
thinking about a clock choke there without the gi.
So I trip him a little bit here.
There was a trip. It was gonna. It almost came to fruition.
And
Now,
then I got a little sloppy right here. I'm off center, and he's like, shh.
yeah, it rolled to your knees right here.
Yeah, that's what I should have done.
Yeah, and you're kind of in a cradle. I mean, you're in a cradle. You boom, too high. Now we're gonna be in the that modified trap and roll. You're definitely thinking about an elbow escape. Otherwise, one leg wouldn't be flat.
I think that's the side I get the elbow escape on before the time runs out, too.
He should have modified. Well, not yet, I guess. You're still on your back. If I was him, I would have tried to be pushing. But see, he can't do any of that, like push your arms down or anything like that, because you've already shown a uh, a good escape. So he's really concerned with just maintaining. But if I was in his corner, how much time is left in the actual match?
Minute 12.
Yeah, I might have told him to start bugging your neck right here because your hands are loaded. If I was in his corner, I would have said cup his shoulder, meaning cup your shoulder. Let's say left hand, cup the shoulder, and then cross face the living hell out of your throat and face to force those hands to come up and then crawl up even further. But you're aware you definitely don't want him to go up any further. back to the elbow escape. He doesn't want to touch, like he's thinking about neck hug, touching your arm, and then he's like, he's touched the hot stove.
Oh yeah, you know how bad it would suck if he ends up back in the bottom, and you don't want to lose. Like it's funny because we were actually talking a little bit, and he was like, "Oh man, I shouldn't have gone for that. I shouldn't have gone for mount." But he's like, I did. But he said something like, "I didn't want to, be a chicken shit or something like that, and just stall."
Well,
Something
what's
like
his name?
along those lines. Huh?
What's his name?
I forget, man. I forget. It's 2022.
Well, to that, I would say you did really good. Him, he's good at jujitsu. He's good at controlling. He's good at submission grappling. But this is stalling, and no hatred to that. I would probably do the same thing if I was on top of Roger. Like, you have got a tiger by the tail.
Yeah, you got the W. So
Yeah.
I got back to half guard at the end of the time, but it was a lot of fun, and luckily that set me up to that silver medal match where I got to actually attack.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's risky to attack, but it's also what fun is there if you're not going to try to win? I guess some people look at it that he won. I mean, controlling and winning by points is winning. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah,
Um, it's just not a good win in my estimation. Now, I did review this match. There's some strange choices
yeah. He didn't want to.
from the gentleman.
He didn't want to play the takedown game with me, which I honestly I
No,
think it has slimmed down to that weight because it seems like the guys that are like 250, 260 are hard to toss, especially 300, hard to toss. But the
okay.
guys around like 230, I feel like I can manage. So even when I was in like the 220 range, um, it seems to be like the right weight for me to easily maneuver. So
From the front, I have problems, you know, over probably 200, 210 pounds from the front. From the back, I feel like I either can take anybody down from the rear clinch or have taken everybody down from the rear clinch that I've rolled with or trained with.
the rear clinch is high percentage, definitely for me too.
Definitely. That's how
It
you
was
got,
Enzo. What's that?
that's how that slam, like, made itself possible, is that he ended up kind of like a haymaker punch defense, and when you turn to face him, he used that inertia, that whip effect, to whip you to the ground. So that's why I think if there had been either no resistance, or you sit, or you do turn and sit, you wouldn't get slammed. You would still end up on the bottom.
Yeah, trying to look at that again.
Your hips are very close. I know why. but too much hand fighting. But and now he was controlling you. You were thinking about an over? I don't know what that was. What were you thinking there?
Maybe I had done an overhook hip toss. I don't recall. At some point, I started doing that overhook hip toss like crazy.
I would stay as tall as possible if I was you. That sounds counterintuitive, but that's his little trick right there.
Yeah.
High, low, and then he's inside. And underhook, rear clinch, you don't want it. Whip.
And
That's exactly what happened.
watching that pisses me off because my neck, man. But I mean, that's what it is. But I'm mostly pissed at myself. I'm pissed at him. He's doing what he's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. For resisting, you're pissed
Well, I
at.
mean, in the like it happened quick, right? So if you don't train takedowns and you don't have the muscle memory, like if you haven't done it over and over and over and over again, which you can tell like there's some things that I've done and some things I haven't, and
Mm-hmm.
I would have to do that a bunch of times.
I
I
don't
would
know
have
why
to.
we avoided these judo takedowns and like the chain takedowns. Why have we avoided that?
I don't know. We're working on other stuff, but I I I want to focus on these takedowns. I don't want to ever be taken down. I want to take people down.
Well, that is one difference between our jujitsu game is that I have included those takedowns and trips and sweeps and all that. And and they look pretty decent now. Like I failed again and again and again, but they look okay now. But I think maybe your focus went to footlocks and whatnot, and mine just went a different direction briefly there. So that, there's a little bit of difference. Not much, but I
Well, I
definitely,
need to get back to the good stuff
yeah, for sure.
because flip blocks aren't going to do you any good if you can't get there. Yeah, got to take
Not,
them down. If you take them down and you're in a good position, there's more doors that are open. But if you're the one getting taken down, you have to, you know, pretty much fight from a disadvantage.
yeah, you have to respond. You have to respond. That's the thing. So you can't respond with a foot lock. I'm sure that the best people in the world can respond with a foot lock. But if I wound up on the bottom, I would need to establish a safe spot and then start to, like work to either get back to the guard or stand back up or whatever the case.
Oh, do you want to hear a funny fact about this match here?
Oh, what's that?
So I don't know what the deal is. I emailed AGF about this. So I don't know what happened here, but they had our names mixed up, and like they said they would fix it at the actual tournament, but they didn't. And so even though like I got the silver and he got the bronze, still on the roster, like on all the like their paperwork and online and everything, it shows him winning.
Jerry will talk about one totally different thing. If we can get Eric, it'll be something completely different. Uh, if I can reach uh, Pedro Valente, it'll be something completely different. So really, it depends on who we have, and if it's us, then we will continue to break down videos. But I think that rather than break down our own, I know that was my thought, but in retrospect, maybe it is kind of not as as exciting as we think. But maybe we
I
can
think
like
we enjoy them.
we enjoy the heck out of them, but people are probably not in the same boat. But if we were breaking down like street fights,
Oh
that
yeah, we
probably
can pull a bunch of street fights. Or
yeah.
you know what? You know what's interesting? I really like those street beef matches, especially if there's a grappler.
Uh-huh.
So I'd love to pull up some of those.
Yeah,
Or really anything like grappler versus striker related. So we could pull some of those up.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he
Or
looks like a wrestler. I didn't want to be trying to go no takedown.
man, you look like I wasn't even trying to take him down. You look like a wrestler.
I wasn't even trying to take him down. I looked like a wrestler. He looked like a jujitsu guy. I didn't even. He looked like a black belt. What do you mean, Manuel? You're acting like Sean Strickland.
Oh, the is this guy also a back horse rider guy?
Well, if he's refused to, like, he begged to come on the podcast, and then we really tried for like a week to get him on, and he just shut down communication. So he might be a third seat on the horse.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he's not even on the saddle. He's like holding the tail behind so he won't fall off the back, and he's holding on to the jacket of Sean. He's like, Sean, don't let go for goodness sakes. And Sean's like, just let me sit. I am number two. You are number three. I'm Sean Strickland. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Good. That's you, Sean. Throwing away your black belt, goofball.
Yeah, that was weird. I thought you'd get a kick out of that when I sent it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a kick out of it because he gets all the benefits and gets to use it for his whole life. But he is also saying to the world at large that follows him, millions, like a million, I don't know, some people, that forget jujitsu, screw jujitsu, it's worth this trash. And yet, he will use it. He will use it to not lose, and he will use it to win.
Yeah, he's
So
gonna use
he's
that as arsenal. So
he's just doing a disservice, and that's the one thing that drives me up the wall and just like rubs me the wrong ways when people lead people away from jujitsu based on some bull crap like that, like him wanting to make a viral video or whatever, just leading people away from. You're in a position of authority where you can influence people, and you know jujitsu is good and it works, and then you're going to lead them away from it. What does that sound like? Does that sound like an honorable person, or does it sound like a turd? Does it sound like somebody that's willing to do whatever it takes to get followers, make money, be popular, be a champion? All that is important than the truth. And for that, you are horse shot, and you'll stay there until you get the coffee. Anywho, Roger.
yeah, let's call it, man. What time you got to get up in the morning?
Uh, I don't know if I am like 7 o'clock to close tomorrow,
Okay.
or if I don't know what I am really. I'll let you know regardless. But I mean, either way, we always do late videos anyway,
I mean,
so
that's
it'll work.
get them in. I mean, we're both working.
Yeah, yeah. And we're gonna
Well,
be.
we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
keep cranking them out.
even after we're done here. I'll probably just keep on working on videos. Um,
What do you want to do? Are you gonna do any more? Do you got any more tutorials in the works or more breakdowns? Or are we gonna
I
do breakdowns tomorrow, possibly?
I found a video of someone trying to do the electric chair on me
Oh,
and
okay. Nice.
defending and me defending. So you couldn't hear that. And in one of those videos, I previously said nobody's ever tried to do that, but I'm always waiting for it. But I have that in a video. Um, I've got a bunch of different videos that I can really break down. Like I've got Scott rolling with big guys, like properly huge guys that I have rolled with that are like white belts, blue belts, whatever, that are very difficult, very strong, and hard to roll with. And he's just like, he must be rightly under the impression that they are good, certainly good enough for him to smash, because that's what he does in these videos, big time. So that'd be fun
The
to put
reason
up.
why.
He wouldn't mind about that because he saw me recording them. Um, I mean, I got so many roles from there that I don't know where they're at. I've got roles with Corian, with Cody, with Brandon, with Scott. Like, wouldn't that be awesome to have that on the channel?
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
No kidding, man. No kidding. I just don't know where they're at, but they're somewhere. I'll find them. We got like a phone that needs to be unlocked, uh, whatever you call that, where it's like you have to,
Jailbroke.
yeah, and a SD card for a tablet that definitely has some rolls from Octagon, which makes me think it's probably got some from John Machado, and that would have led right on into Invincible.
Yeah,
So
man, I would like to see some like Octavio footage.
rolling with Octavio.
I don't believe I've ever seen him roll up there.
Um,
He would drill. I know he did a private lesson with the owner of Octagon one time that I saw, but still great classes. He's good at explaining,
he
the
was.
concepts. But yeah, that'd be cool to see. I wish I had a video of that guy who it was like a random MMA guy, and the MMA class got canceled, and you got Octavio saying, "Well, hey, my friend, you can come do jiu-jitsu with us. We'll give you a gi, or you could do kickboxing." And it was, and the kickboxing coach, was a good coach, but you have Octavio here with jiu-jitsu, like world class.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take kickboxing. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
you,
what? I was thinking like, oh,
yeah, you've chosen wrongly, let me say.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I was just gonna say Octavio sadly was all those things, and I know we said it already. He passed away, and he's got good people there teaching now, but he was definitely capable of and did change some elements of our technique
oh yeah,
and make it make more sense. And I got better, you got better, Nick got better. Everybody we went there with got better, except the people that saw Nick walking around with his wiener out.
yeah.
But
And it'd be funny if Nick just walked up right now.
man, is he there?
No, no,
Oh gosh, that would be awesome.
that would be
Uh,
funny.
last thing, and then we can go. One time, me and Nick were showing Octavio a technique that I had learned from Dustin Deans, or some people call him Dustin Dinez. Do you know who that is?
The name rings a bell. Like maybe the Buzzard was talking about him at some point.
Yeah, for sure. Clean Deans or something like that. Dustin Clean Deans.
What is his like particular style?
He's old school. Go to Brazil, get so immersed in the OG culture that he like speaks perfect Portuguese, that he's like 100% self-defense, but also they did it the right way. So he got very good at sport jiu-jitsu. If I'm not mistaken, he has defeated Marcelo Garcia and a couple of other like fantastically good guys. But if you know who Marcelo Garcia is, that's a amazing victory.
Oh yeah.
He's good. So we learned a technique and then showed Octavio. And I remember Octavio being like, normally he would kind of dismiss everything, but not in a bad way. Just like we'll look at it and like we'll
Yeah,
get the
he's
class.
seen it all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this one, we showed him, and then he kind of did that little like a dog, like that.
He's thinking about it. It intrigued him, I guess.
Yeah, he's like he looked, and then he looked. He's like looking at me, and he said, "Show, do it again. Do it from the start, and let me see it from here." Then he kind of moved over so he could see it from right there. It's like, go. We did it again, and then he was like, "I wouldn't change anything about this. I I like it. This is good. I want to see it again." So we did it like three, four, 5 times, and
Mm.
I was Fabio just watching. So I felt like the moral of this story, or the point of this is, I felt like for that just that little bit, as awesome and highly skilled as Octavio was, that I was teaching him just a little bit with that,
Yeah.
and that was
uh,
awesome.
that is, man.
The
Man,
only
what a
other
great story.
Oh, dude. The only other thing I'm sure that I told you about this when I took my that dude that I moved in with him and his girlfriend. You remember them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That I took the guy, and this guy was also walking around naked all the time. What's up with that?
Mm. That must be like a prerequisite whenever you meet, new friends. You're like, hey, do you walk around naked?
He
They're like, yeah,
this guy
perfect.
was like walking around. We would come into the house sometimes, me and Ashley. He'd be on the phone, and it wasn't like he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, guys," and then run. No, he's like on the phone, just going and cooking dinner,
Completely
and
nude.
huh,
Completely nude.
100%, nothing.
Looking stupid. Like I would never be nude if I had roommates. Like only my room.
Right?
Shower, uh, you know, very seldomly, not in common spaces. That is fucking weird.
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't show your nude body to strangers, especially them and their female acquaintances. You know what I mean? Like that. Really, I thought about that afterwards, and it could have been a more of a problem than I made it. I didn't make it any problem at all. I was just like, put the monster away.
That's what you said?
And that's what I said, and then he was just like on the phone the whole time. He's just like, yeah, and then just went right back to wienering and cooking, and like a couple of times he went to the door to check the door. He opened it up and look out, and there he would be, full nudity in the door where you could
Oh,
see him. So he was not. Uh, he's something wrong with him. But I brought him like an idiot up there to Octagon. But we do this, right? We like everybody in our life at some point we try to get them to go to a class. for one reason or another. And this
Things
guy,
that you like.
yeah, this guy had told me a couple times that he wanted to go hard. So I told him, do you know this already, this story?
No, never heard it.
Yeah, I told him to tell everybody he rolled with before he rolled that he wanted the juice. He wanted them to give him the juice.
Mm-hmm.
So he told them all that. And I watched the first few, and they were like, really? It would be like a purple belt or a brown belt. And then they would just thrash him devilishly, like just kill him. And he's
Oh,
sweating bad and cursing the whole time loudly.
oh man.
And Octavio had to walk up to him a couple of times. Octavio walked up and he said, "Hey, listen," because I was pretty close enough that I saw this face. He's like, "Hey, I know you're here with your friend. You're having a good time. Jiu-jitsu's fun, but you're gonna watch your mouth, okay? You're gonna watch what you say. There's girls, women that train here, and people that don't want to hear your mouth. So close it, please." And that guy was like, dude, I'm getting crushed, and now the guy is mad. Maybe I should just start walking home. I was like, no, I'll take you, man. But by
Yeah.
the
Well,
time I
it was
started
pretty close.
getting, it was close. By the time I got my clothes, he was already gone. He had started walking.
Ooh.
So like, oh well, then I'm gonna finish the class. This is I pay. I either I paid or they let it. You know, sometimes they let us train free. Sometimes we pay. Wasn't that the case? Didn't they let us train sometimes for free?
Couple times.
Yeah, yeah,
If whoever was behind the counter wasn't paying attention,
yeah.
uh,
Depending who it was, though. Yeah,
there was a couple like people employed up there that probably, I don't know, they're on their phone or whatever, weren't like watching the door, or maybe they'd go, they'd be preoccupied with something. Maybe they had to go to the back or something, and there's just no one there to take your money, so you just walk in.
that's why you need a jujitsu savvy person to run that front desk. You need somebody that cares about jujitsu, that is up there to make sure things go according to how they should go, and not just some random person.
Not
You
some
know
random blonde chick with a huge rack.
that one, that one. But I wasn't that. Didn't think she was all that good looking at all. Actually, pole dancer.
Something was up. No, I mean she just looked like maybe a little rough around the edges. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Face.
I don't
Like it
know.
was something. It was like she had a bunch of makeup on. Maybe like she had like hiding acne scars or something like that. But
Nails.
it was like trying hard, and I just thought it was one of those gals that were trying to
Get it.
um, bring sex into jiu-jitsu, and I just didn't like it. I was like, no, no, no.
It's true though.
Well, shoot. So we're gonna see. We did a couple breakdowns. We didn't get a chance to. Well, I guess we did look some even more videos, but we're probably gonna save those for later. And hopefully we get a one of these three possible guests. Later on this week. And yeah, I think we can call this one done. Put it on the list to edit.
Yeah, and we can even make it a series of its own if you wanted to. Just like I,
Break it down. Breaking down matches.
yeah, breakdown. Something. Yeah, something along those lines.
Robot
Uh,
breakdown.
robot breakdown.
Robot breakdowns.
Yes.
Robot breakdown.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's do that.